Hello everyone, it's Yvonne here from the Aussie Goddess to do your weekly reading for the 9th to the 15th of August, thereabouts. Alright, and this is for the sign of Scorpio. Scorpio. I just need to straighten it out a little bit. I think you can see better on camera than it looks like you can see here. But anyway, Scorpio, thank you so much for subscribing to my channel. Please remember though, the readings are only general. If they don't resonate, make sure you check out other aspects of your natal chart. However, if they do resonate with you, make sure you give me a big fat thumbs up and help me to grow the channel. If you are interested in doing classes with me, life coaching, which I do a lot of healing within the life coaching, a lot of healing stuff. Personal readings or donations. Please, everything is below. Go and check out underneath. Okay. Right, we're ready. Thanks, nice cut spirit. Beautiful. Okay, so we have the Six of Pentacles coming out. The Six of Pentacles, it's a beautiful card because it talks of an equal distribution. It says that what you put in, you should get back. Now, that doesn't mean that you're going to get it back in exactly the same form. It doesn't mean that you are, you know, as I always say, getting exactly the same amount of money. It may not relate to money coming back. For example, you know, if you're working really hard at a job, you want to be appreciated, you want to be respected, and you want to get a fair deal. That's equal give and take. If it's in a relationship, you're not investing all the time, you're learning that the other person has a role in the relationship as well, and you're learning to have this sort of, I guess it's a balance between you, and it might not mean that the balance is exactly the same things. Not everybody invests the same way, but you're still feeling somewhat grateful for what you're receiving back again. If you don't equal give and take, you end up with a toxic situation. All right, so if you're constantly giving to a relationship, if you're constantly investing in a job and you're not getting anything back, there's no satisfaction, you'll become resentful and angry, and then it becomes toxic. So it's a really good lesson to learn. Okay, so I have the Four of Cups here. So this says to me someone's not getting an equal distribution because someone does not want that cup anymore. They don't want that situation. They don't want part of that. They're bored with it. They're just over it and they're moving on to something new here. Whoopsie. We have a card in reverse again. And I said there's just this thing with this particular deck where I keep finding reversals in it. I feel like someone's playing games with me, but it's okay. We run with that. The Six of Wands is a card that talks about victory. And it talks about people recognizing you for who you are. Now, what I see here is I see if you're not getting an equal distribution, if it is the case that you're bored, fed up, and over this particular job or role or relationship, then this is why you're disappointed, because you're not feeling people are recognizing for what you're putting in. There's always this feeling, because it's in reverse, that you're not achieving this sense of achievement. You're not being recognized for your sense of input. You're not being recognized for the love you're giving, because that should be upright. Okay, and here you are taking on the energy of the King of Swords. I love it, because what you're saying here is no more. No more. I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not investing in this anymore. I'm not going to put myself in this situation anymore. I'm ready to cut it out and move on. Now, I draw your attention here, as Spirit says, to this beautiful, not all the decks have these. So the King of Swords can represent Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, but as you can see, he has his sword held high. So he's very much ready to speak his truth here. But what I'm being drawn to by Spirit is the fact that he's holding in his hands a set of scales. Now that immediately says to me that what you are not doing here is getting a balance. This card is all about balance. So I can see this person kneeling down in front of this person, begging them for something. So you may have been in a situation where you've constantly put in energy. You may not have begged to get something back, but I feel that whatever it is now, you are really feeling like you're not receiving what you should be receiving. All right, let's have a look. I'll just write that down so I don't forget. All right. Okay, all right, so for some of you here, this is taking a leap of faith. So, you know, when you're in a situation that's not really giving back, when you're sort of feeling like you're not gelling with a situation, that perhaps it's not the right relationship, the right job, the right situation, it could be a friendship, family for you, it sort of requires you to just go. So the Fool is sort of talking about closing the cycle down. So you're closing the cycle down and you're just moving out of it. So for some of you, this is finishing a job, taking a leap of faith, perhaps not knowing where the next job is going to be. Perhaps you're jumping out of a relationship, not really wanting to participate in the relationship, but not really knowing the direction you're going in either. Well, let's take a closer look. All right. So we have the World card. So I sort of feel sometimes, you know, we say things as readers and then it's sort of like, yeah, there it is. So this is you closing out a cycle, which is absolutely beautiful, because what I want to say here is that you've learned all the lessons you needed to learn. You won't be put in this situation again because you will be much sort of wiser the next time around. This is about learning from those situations, learning the lessons you need to have so that you can take that leap forward. But not putting up with someone like that Six of Wands in reverse, people who aren't recognizing your contribution, people who aren't recognizing your worth or your value. No longer will you do that with the World card. Okay, so we have the Three of Cups coming through. Beautiful. This is about celebration, celebrating with others here. Knight of Cups coming through. Recognizing your own love, recognizing love of self. There's new starts coming in for you. I can feel them here with this Knight of Cups. But really celebrating yourself, celebrating who you are, celebrating your own value here. Nice energy. All right, so we have the Hermit. So we're taking time out now to do the healing, which is understandable. Knight of Wands, feeling passionate and driven now. And the Devil card. Okay, all right, let's get into a little bit of a chat here about codependency. Sometimes when we are raised to believe that we need to keep investing to make something better, when we are in a relationship or a job or some sort of situation where we keep giving to the situation, you may see that as people pleasing, you may see it as being codependent. It's to do with our empathy. So as empaths, we very often learned how to keep giving to situations that don't give back to us. We're givers. With the right person in the right situation, the giving's fine as long as you have healthy boundaries. There's nothing wrong with giving, but you need to have healthy boundaries. So if it gets to a point where you're giving, and nobody's returning, then your boundaries are not healthy because you're not saying, no, that's not it, that's it, it's done. This is very often the energy that comes up with the Devil card. Sometimes it's being locked or chained into something, feeling that you have an obligation, a debt, a liability to keep serving others at the risk of losing yourself. This is about putting others on a pedestal and leaving yourself sort of on the back burner. But for others of you, you know, this idea of being put on a pedestal is not a good thing. You know, you hear often people say, oh, I think he's got me on a pedestal. That's not healthy. We're equal beings regardless. So if you're being treated poorly, but in a relationship or in a job or a situation, it's not healthy at all. Because the healthy thing is that like beautiful give and take like we see here. So this is the lesson you're learning here. So there's sort of this lesson that you're understanding that what you're doing is codependent. You're actually giving more to the situation than you're receiving back. And it's not healthy. The reason it's not healthy is because sooner or later you're going to start getting very resentful and very angry because you keep investing in something and someone's not doing the same thing back. And that's your lesson. That's the lesson you're learning here. Okay, so Eight of Swords coming through. Wow, okay, Queen of Wands coming through. Two of Pentacles. All right, so let's just go back and I'll reiterate a little story. Okay, so we have you learning this beautiful lesson about respecting and appreciating yourself, loving yourself, expecting people to give back at some stage or level. Okay, Four of Cups, whatever it is that you're currently doing is not doing this, and you are now ready to say no and move away. The Six of Wands was in reverse, which tells me here that you don't feel recognised, appreciated, whatever it is for your situation. And I feel that you're at the ready now, ready to walk away, ready to start something new. I have you taking a leap of faith here and closing down the past life. There's a lot of celebration here, and I feel like it's around you recognising your own value. There will be some healing to be done, because I feel that even though you've recognised this, there probably is a little bit of time required for you to take time out to really look at what you want. And with this Devil card here, it's about understanding your ego, how you've learned core beliefs about yourself that aren't true, learning about your codependency, could be childhood stuff here that you need to say goodbye to. But this energy in the universe at the moment is really helping us to get rid of stuff that no longer serves us. There's a feeling here that this is somewhat troubling you because of the fact that you're still perhaps a little trapped in that energy. But what's happening here is there seems to be this energy of you sort of finding balance here in your world, sort of understanding through, you know, having a passion for life again. So somehow or another, walking away from this other situations left you very depleted, maybe feeling a bit undermined, abused, or whatever it is for you. But I feel that there's healing coming through here and a lot of realization for you, which is sort of bringing you into this energy of being fiery and passionate again and bringing a sense of balance back. So let's see what we have here. The Page of Cups, the Seven of Swords, beautiful Page of Pentacles. This is about speaking up. This is about speaking up for yourself. This is about understanding that, you know, other people sometimes are not going to treat you with the respect that you deserve for whatever reason. And it's about speaking up about that. Not being oppressed by other people around you. Learning to assert yourself in a healthy way. Sometimes, you know, learning to assert yourself is a little hard because sometimes when you first start doing it, you come off as being a little sort of aggressive and forthright, but with practice it comes. Okay, we have the card of the never-ending story coming out here. So maybe you've cycled this energy more than once. Sometimes these core beliefs, these energies around jobs, people, relationships might come a few times before you start to understand what you're doing here. This is about self-criticism, the wounded ego, and unnecessary dramas. There is a story woven through the imperfect fabric of life that tells of hurt and loss, rejection and humiliation, self-loathing and arrogance, and all manner of suffering born of unnecessary dramas. It is the old story whose refrain is that you cannot do this, must not go there, should not say that lest your world come crumbling down. See, that's where the assertiveness comes in. Today, know that none of this is actually true. The sky is not falling. The voice you hear is just a small, scared, conditioned part of you that got stuck in a lie and wants to protect you and needs you to be seen as a victim. Love that lost piece of you. Fear is all it knows. Distorted guidance is preventing you from being true to yourself. You are not your story, and the narrator is simply the voice of your fearful part, small and vulnerable and easily soothed. So there you go. Don't have the fear. Jump into it. Take that leap of faith. Have a great week.